Now the next topic is increment decrement operators. These are most commonly used operators in C++ programming. So in this video we will understand what are these operators and what is their use. We will learn about this, and also after this video we will have a demonstration. So let us look at the operators. See here there are two types of operators. One is increment operator and second one is decrement operator. Then again in increment decrement again there are two types. One is pre-increment, second is post-increment. Likewise pre-decrement and post-decrement. So we'll understand what are all these and how they work. Now for explanation I have taken one example here. See, I have a variable I. I is already having value 5. Then I have written this type of statement. So this type of statement you are already familiar with. What does it mean? This means that in the value of I, that is 5, add 1, so make it 6, total will be 6, and store this 6 in I. So with this, value of I will increase by 1, increment by 1. The same statement even I can write like this by using compound assignment operator, I plus assign 1. So if suppose I value is 5, then plus 1 it becomes 6, and 6 is stored in I. So instead of writing I assign I plus 1, I can also write I plus assign 1. This we have learned in the previous video. Now we have increment operator instead of that. So let us see what is the use. See, here I is 5, then plus 1 it becomes 6, then plus 1 it will become 7. So by adding 1 every time we can go on increment it. What is the use of such variable? Why you want to increment it? See, these type of variables are mostly useful for counting. Like if you count, you will say first 1, then plus 1 you will say 2, then plus 1 you will say 3, plus 1 you say 4. So for counting purpose you have to go on adding 1 to the number, so it will be go on increasing by 1 every time. So it helps for counting. So yes, this type of operation, that is incrementing by 1, is more common in programming wherever we have to count. So here I is just like a counter. So right now I is 5, then plus 1 it becomes 6. So if you want to count from the beginning, you can start I from 0 onward. 0, then 1, then 2, then 3 and 4, so on. So as I said, this counting is more common in programming. That is the reason C++ has introduced increment operator. So instead of writing it like this or this, we can write I plus plus. This also means the same thing. This is same as these two statements. Here we are adding 1, here we are adding 1, and this also means adding 1. Once you get used to, then it looks very simple that plus plus means increase the value by 1. So this is more commonly useful in loops, where we will perform repeated statements. So repeatedly we go on incrementing it, so it behaves like a counter. Now I will show you what is the difference between pre-increment and post-increment. So once we understand this, I don't have to explain this one, you can understand by yourself. Now let us see the difference. I will remove this and I will take a different example and show you. So here I have an example. Let us understand pre-increment and post-increment. I have a variable x having value 5. Then if I say x plus plus, then x becomes 6. Even if I say plus plus x, then also x becomes 6. Whether I write like this or like this, both have same meaning. Either pre-increment or post-increment, or post or pre, whatever the statement may be, the result is same. Then what is the difference between pre and post? So let us see. Just remove this. Think these are not there. Now again, x is 5. So if I say y assign with plus plus x, right now x is 5. Okay, assume these are not there. Okay, I'll remove them. So y assign plus plus x means what? There are two operations here. One is increment, other one is assignment. So which has to be done first? So first increment has to be done. This operation has to be done. Then second, this operation has to be done. So first increment is done. Increment is done means this x becomes 6. So this becomes 6. And 6 is stored in y. So after this, if you print the result, then x is also 6 and y is also 6. So this means first increment the value, then assign it to y. This is the meaning. Now, what does it mean by post increment? So I'll write on the same thing again. Let us say x is 5 only right now. Okay, don't treat it as 6. Freshly, again it is 5. So then if I write y assign x plus plus, then there are two operations here, assignment and increment. So which has to be done first? So first this has to be done, then this has to be done, second one. So it means the value of x is assigned to y first. So what is x right now? 5. So y becomes 5. Then x plus plus, x becomes 6. Afterwards x becomes 6. So this will be the result of this statement. So here two operations were there. So first this was performed, then this one. Then here first assignment is performed, then this one. What does it mean? Pre-increment means first increment it and use the variable. And post-increment means first use the variable in the assignment and then increment it. I'll show you one more example. See, suppose I have some more variables like y is also there, y is having value 10 and z is also there. So if I say z assign x plus plus multiplied by y. So actually x and y has to be multiplied, but x should also be incremented. So first increment is done or afterwards it is done. So afterwards, so first which operation is performed? Multiplication. So what is the value of x? 5 into 10. So this 50 is stored in z and then x becomes 6. X will become 6. So after this, the result will be x is 6 and y is 10 only. It is not being modified and z becomes 50. This is the result. And if I am using pre-increment here, if I say plus plus x, then what happens? So first of all, this x will increment and x becomes 6 and then multiplied by y, that is 10, and the result 60 is stored in z. So the result is this one and z will be having value 60 because first the value of x is incremented, then later used in the expression. This is the difference between pre-increment and post-increment. So depending on your requirement, you should know which one you want in a particular formula or an expression and you should use that one. And when you are using independently, once again I will show you, if you write just x plus plus or plus plus x, they have same effect. But if you use it along with some other variables, then they have different meaning. That's how pre-increment and post-increment are different. So this increment, decrement operators, you know them right now. So we'll use them at many places, right? So we don't have to see any example programs on this one right now, but there is a coding exercise available. So you complete that coding exercise and also demonstration of these operators is given in the next video. So that's all about increment and decrement operators.